All right, here we go. Part 3 of JPW. Our saga continues. Man, we're into the back half now. JPW is not very happy. Just to refresh, where the hell are we? I had to grab some water and some other things, so I kind of forgot where we were, so that's why I'm doing this.
Back home.
You're going to go back home?
Yeah.
So you're just going to, you came all the way here.
I came, you know what happened?
You're going to drop off a note, and then you're going to go
what happened?
To Pomona.
How it started is I was coming up on a bus. And I got up here and I found out the number 3 doesn't run any longer. Okay? But I'm already past the one.
So this is all happening because the 3 wasn't running anymore. Oh, man. Because the bus wasn't running anymore. That's why he was so late, because the bus wasn't running anymore. And really, from Pomona to... where the fuck are we? Pomona to Riverside. It's not very far at all. Yeah, it shouldn't have taken you this long, JPW, even if you had to take a few different buses and the bus wasn't running anymore. I don't know. Walking directions, 7 hours, 38 minutes. That's if you don't stop either. So maybe it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting though. Riverside from Pomona to Riverside. And there's Corona, where Walter Vance was from.
Okay? And I'm up here and I'm finding out as I'm walking, I'm looking for a bus stop and says, excuse me. I'm told that it stopped at 6 o'clock or something like that. I'm already on foot though. Okay? So I'm told Steve something, I don't know. I'm just told that
Steve
up in the
Steve, I bet you there actually was a Steve something. But JPW couldn't remember his name or anything. He was just so focused on getting some nuts that he couldn't remember the guy's name. So he's just a Steve something. I don't know. Just trust me on this though. There is a Steve something. Something. Shit.
this area, okay, that there's, and I had an address. All I did is write down an address.
And JPW is just kind of saying things here that doesn't relate at all to the story about, John Pedersen or anything. It's just about his journey here. I don't know why the hell he's going on and on about, his bus and his routes and everything like that. I don't know why he's going on about it, Just fucking, you're here for John Pedersen. What does how you got here have to do with it, And he's like, all I had was an address. All I had was an address. That's all I have. He doesn't even have the fucking love. I love the pause faces. I do love them. JPW doesn't even have the note written. So how is he? Was he have some paper? He has the pen actually. So I might explain the pen, but I don't know how he doesn't have the paper, or doesn't have the note written already. So he's gonna be out there on the back, up against like the siding of the house, fucking writing a note. Dear Mr. Pedersen, I know that you weren't here, but you told me to leave a note. You can call me back at this time for our job interview. I hope to hear from you soon.
I was told that a young man...
Who was sending these emails with your...
I haven't used that account since 1999.
I haven't used it since 1999. Most people would, deactivate their account, fucking delete their account if they don't need it anymore. So, JPW should have done that. And maybe you wouldn't have been in this particular... Maybe you wouldn't have been set up.
Here's the problem with that.
Now Chris Hansen's going to drop the A-bomb on him. JPW's going to still double down, though. He's going to... But man, this is it. Chris Hansen, just let him talk aimlessly for 11 minutes. sounds like one of my videos. But yeah, just let him talk himself up for 11 minutes. Now he's just going to crush him.
I know you were at a public library using a computer.
You know what I was, or you know that somebody was using that account?
I know you were.
I was.
See, if I was JPW, I would have doubled down. I would have said, wait, how do you know that I was in a public library using a computer? How do you know that? What, do you got stalkers chasing me around? What the fuck is this? This is the worst company for a hiring process I've ever seen, that you guys know that I was in a public library. Mr. Pedersen, I'm taking my business elsewhere.
That's good. I would do sometimes go in and talk to a friend of mine in a public library.
So you were lying this entire time, JPW, is basically what you're saying. But now look at this face. Now look at that face. Those are the eyes of, please, I'm begging you. Sir, please, I'm begging you. A man who is slowly realizing that he's in trouble. I mean, he knew that he was in trouble from the beginning, but now it's like kind of hitting home. You know, you can see the lights behind his eyes are just like, man, I am in a lot of trouble here.
You know that Jay.
Can I taste your nuts? And
That's
will
not
you
my style.
like me? That's what porn.
You know that J. Michael Wilson was. Can I taste your nuts? That's not my style. Oh, maybe one of the best lines. Maybe the best line that Chris Hansen ever said. Reading back a chat log. Can I taste your nuts? I just love the way. I love the way he says it too. Can I taste your nuts?
You know that Jay.
Can I taste your nuts? And
That's
will
not
you
my style.
blank me? That's what porn is.
That's not my style.
That's
Lots of
not my
orgy
style.
sex. How can I promote someone I never had lots of hot sex?
I can figure that maybe a couple of people might want.
JPW doesn't even make any. He doesn't even make any ifs, ands, or buts about it in chat log. He's just like, "Can I taste your nuts? How can I promote somebody I never had lots of hot sex with?" It's just like it's open and shut, man. It's fucking open and shut. And JPW doesn't do anything to help himself. He says the simple. He does the simple. You're not a cop, right? Because I don't want somebody getting me in trouble. And then once he says no, oh man, it's fucking all systems go. You know, no looking back. Fucking, we're just going for it. We're going all out for it now. JPW's like, damn, didn't work. I guess it didn't work.
Trying to get me in trouble. I don't know. That does not.
So you're saying this was somebody else, even though we know you were at the public library using a computer. And
What
we
you know
this
is I was at a public library. That's what you may know.
And that's right. JPW is trying to double down again. Hey, I was at a public library. I might have been on the computer, but you don't know that I typed that personally. I left my computer. What it was, you know, I went to the bathroom. I had to masturbate really quickly. So I had to go to the bathroom. And in those 5 minutes that I was gone, 5-10 minutes maybe, I don't know how long JPW lasts, but he just goes in that time span, somebody hopped on, and all of the bad Samaritans around me didn't do anything to stop it. And in that time, he was chatting with a 13-year-old boy under my name, and now I'm being framed. JPW, man, this is the biggest conspiracy in the world. We need to free JPW. I'm all for it. Oh man, how old is JPW now? He's gotta be in his 60s, late 60s maybe. I don't know. I forget how old he is at this point. Yeah, he's gotta be in his 60s, I think, though.
Well, you don't know everything I know.
And boom, right there, Chris Hansen fucking taps the papers on the table as like, oh man, this is just getting started, JPW. You're fucked. And when he does that, JPW's eyes and face are just like, damn.
Public library using a computer.
What you know is I was at
Look at
a
this.
public library. That's what you may know.
Well, you don't know everything I know.
Ooh, man, that's the face of somebody who knows that, hey, this isn't working out too well. Oh shit, I gotta do something about this. I gotta do something to help myself right here.
So you want to tell me the real story now? Or you want to go with what you got? It's up to you.
And what does the real story get me?
And what does the real story get me? And boom, right there. JPW is basically just admitting that this whole thing was a bunch of bullshit. He's just like, what does the real story get me? Like, hey, I can tell you the real story, but I want to know what's going to happen. But Chris Hansen's obviously not going to tell him right now that, hey, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. He's not going to say that yet. So JPW's going to be like, I told you what I'm here for. That's what it was. He's going to stick to his original story, even though he basically just admitted that it was all bullshit.
It's up to you. You can tell me the truth, or you can tell me the story. It's up to you. I can't make you do one thing or the other.
And
your story doesn't make that much sense. Now, maybe I'm skeptical.
Yeah, maybe I'm skeptical. Maybe you just didn't tell it right. Tell it to me one more time. Yeah, it was my fault. It's not. I'm skeptical. I'm still skeptical. Tell it to me again. Be 1 second, guys. Alright, so we're back. Fucking phone calls. Always phone calls. It's always phone calls, man. Come on. Don't you know I'm watching JPW? I'm trying to watch JPW. Can you not call me, please?
I don't know.
But he doesn't
know who you are.
And now JPW amplifies the pressure. He's starting to get a little bit enraged. And his natural rage is just coming out now. I don't even know who you are. Demanding answers. You know. Why am I telling the truth to someone who I don't even know who they are? So go fuck yourself, Hansen. That's what he should say.
I don't even know who you are. I came in here. I was just now told that gate's open. Come on in. Okay.
And who told you that?
A young man.
A young man.
Okay. I was told there was a young man here that knows.
That knows what?
This guy that runs this construction company over here.
I think JPW's getting tired of saying that story, of saying that. You know, he's getting tired of saying it because he doesn't believe it. In the back of his mind, he knows that it's not true, but he's got to stick with it. He's got to stick with it at this point. He's in too deep to change his story, so he's got to stick with it. And so he's getting tired of having to keep saying that. You know, he's getting tired of having to keep push this story that's obviously bullshit, but he's got to keep doing it. Oh.
What this sounds like, Michael, is that you were coming here to have sex with a 13-year-old boy.
Oh, hell no. I'm dating. I got her phone number on my computer. On my phone. I'm dating a young black girl.
Young black girl. You just say, I'm just dating a young girl. You don't have to say, I'm dating a young black girl. You don't have to say that. Oh, man.
Why would you say these things to somebody you thought was a 13-year-old?
Maybe somebody else that was also on the computer in the library been using it.
Man, he stumbles over that entire line. He stutters through that entire line. Maybe somebody on the library on the computer maybe using my name. It's not somebody who's telling the truth. That's not the mark of somebody that's telling the truth. But JPW's going to stick with it. Tongue is on his lips again, licking his lips again. And mouth is getting a little bit dry. He's gonna want some milk at some point. Looks like he's just look in his eye tells me that he's craving some milk at this point.
So it's one big mix-up.
I'm telling you what I came in for, and I don't have sex with anybody.
Right there.
Not me. And if you were to...
He says, I don't have sex with anybody. Nope, not me. That's a great excuse. That's a great underappreciated excuse right there from JPW. I don't have sex with anybody. Not me. So obviously this isn't me, because I don't have sex with anybody. You don't have sex... What, you're not having sex with the young girl that you're dating, JPW?
If you were anybody that had access to my record, you look at my record, you figure out that the only time I had any problems with anybody was a young woman, unless you look at my adolescent stuff. And then I was an adolescent.
It's a bold move bringing up your prior rapes as evidence to say, hey, this is why I wouldn't do this. It's a bold move. It's an interesting defense to say, hey, look at my past rapes. I haven't raped any other young boy except when you look at my adolescent stuff. And then I was an adolescent, so it doesn't really count, you know. It's a bold move to do that, you know. Hey, I've only raped 2 people. I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's kind of funny at the same time. Like, hey, I've only raped 2 people in my life, and they were women, except for that one guy that I raped when I was a young man, when I was an adolescent. So it doesn't really count. It doesn't count, man. I told you, man. I wouldn't have done this. JPW, man, what a bold strategy. What a fucking bold strategy, man. I fucking wonder if with his fucking tongue out and everything, when his lawyer saw this, he's just like, oh, JPW, what did you do? Why did you go and say that for? Look at his fucking face, man, with the tongue out. I love it. I fucking love that so much.
So you've got a record?
I'm guessing I do.
You're guessing you do?
Yeah, I have a record. You know I have
You had a problem with a young woman?
A long time ago.
And he brushes it off as, oh yeah, I had a problem with a young girl. According to his autobiography, He raped somebody. He was supposed to drive a girl to an airport, but instead he drove to his house, and raped her. And then he dropped her off at the airport. Like, just a quick... I'm not gonna say it, but no, he says, "Oh yeah, I just had one problem. That's a problem. That's just a little problem, though." Like, JPW, that's a big fucking issue. And again, he only got, like, I guess different times. I guess he only got like 3 or 5 years or something like that for that crime. They should have locked him up for decades for committing that crime, you know, and he wouldn't be in this situation today. He wouldn't have reoffended, you know. I don't know what the fuck they were. I don't know, just different times or what. Man, they should have. They didn't. I guess they didn't take it. Unfortunately, they didn't take it super seriously back then. You know, if they would have taken it seriously from the beginning, this guy wouldn't have reoffended. He would have been just in prison for the rest of his life.
Give you time for that?
Don't you know?
I'm asking you.
Why are you asking?
I want to know the truth.
Yes, I've done time for that. Straight up, I've done time for that. It was with a young woman. Ain't no kids in me.
Another great line. Ain't no kids in me. So that's kind of like it's kind of like an old timey. I don't think people say it much anymore, but they say, "Oh yeah, there ain't no hate in me. You know, there ain't no bad thing in me." You know, but JPW says, "Ain't no kids in me," which is like great because yeah, obviously there's no kids in you right now, JPW, but that doesn't mean there wouldn't be any kids in you in the future. Oh man, yeah, that's fucking great. Ain't no kids in me. That's fucking great. I love it.
There's nothing in my record to even suggest it. I have walked from Pomona. Let me get my milk on my bag. That's all I'm gonna do.
And just drops the ultimate mind fuck. This whole time he's had milk in his bag the entire time. What the fuck? How warm is that milk? That milk has gotta be so fucking warm. Oh man.
I'd rather you didn't go in your bag. I mean,
he looks at him like, hey, that's kind of odd. Like, what the fuck? You're not even gonna let me really quench my thirst with some warm milk? You're not gonna let me do that? He's like, man, that's the most fucked up thing about this whole thing is that you didn't let me get my milk.
I'm almost finished asking questions. I mean,
Huh?
I'm almost finished asking you questions.
Again, JPW's annoyed at that. I'm almost done asking you questions. Huh? And then he gets really annoyed at that too.
What was your plan?
What was your plan here? Chris, we're just running in circles here. What was your plan here? Like, oh yeah, now all of a sudden I'm gonna come clean and say, yeah, I was here to bang Luke. Sorry. No, he's gonna stick with his story, obviously, Chris. Just kill him already. Just kill him already.
My plan was because I'm desperate for a job. I have no money, income, none. That's it. You know what part of my problem has been? Okay, I can tell you where my desperation comes from. Okay, my desperation was for a job. If somebody else had used an email account that I used a long time ago, I'm sorry about that. Then I got to change a number of things.
Got to change a number of things. I love that too.
That I haven't gone by J. Michael Wilson at Yahoo since 1999. That is the truth. Now I've been in the library. I've chatted with a couple of people.
And seriously, what the fuck is this right here? Oh man, I love it. I got another pause shot with him with his tongue out. He's like Michael Jordan. You know, Michael Jordan always had his tongue out when he played. JPW has his tongue out when he's planning on raping kids. Oh man, just look at these tits, by the way, too. Underrated rack that JPW has, man. That's a nice rack. And I still don't know what the fuck this is. Like, what is this? Like, what is it? What's the purpose of it? Someone, please let me know.
Okay. There are a couple flakes in this world that I know of.
Flakes.
You're talking to a boy named Luke.
I don't know a boy named Luke.
I'll be there as close to 11 as possible, so I will need your number so that I can call you when I'm near the bus stop. I will look for you, and we will discreetly go to your room and talk. And we'll talk about whatever pops up and stimulates you.
And right now,
I will look.
JPW is not appreciating having his chat log read back to him. He's not appreciating it at all. He's just like, and then now he's gonna double down again.
For you, and we will discreetly go to your room and talk. And we'll talk about whatever pops up and stimulates you into whatsoever you want.
You are reading me something that somebody wrote. I'm sorry to hear that.
So I need...
You are reading me something that somebody wrote. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that's fucking great. GPW's like, man, I don't know what you want me to do about this. You know, I can't control what somebody said on my behalf, on my account. You know, I can't control that. So, like, what do you want me to do here? It's quite a pickle. We're almost done, man. I can't believe we are going to get this done in 3 parts. I can't believe that. I thought this was going to be a 4 or 5 part thing, but we are going to get it done. That's great.
At bus stop near our place, as I get off, I'll walk toward your street, so you also must tell me how to get to your bed from there.
Well, I don't know about what everybody that this person has said to a 13-year-old. I never even met a 13-year-old. I'm not going to talk to somebody I never met before.
That's what it looks like you did.
I never met this person. Who's Luke? I never met no Luke.
I never met no Luke. That's like some broken English right there. I never met no Luke. That's like kind of a double negative right there by JPW, man. I never met no Luke. I never met Luke. You just say that. I never met Luke. Like, what the fuck? You don't need to add the no in there.
You didn't talk to him via the internet.
I've never talked to anybody that I know of by the name of Luke.
By you know of.
Grant, I talked to somebody tonight. I never asked the young man his name.
Well,
here we go. Bom, bom, bom. The last moments of freedom in somebody's life. You know, this is really it. This is the last moment of freedom of his entire life. That's incredible. That's something to think about, man. You know? This is it. He's going to die in prison. He spent the rest, every single second after this is pretty much in the hands of custody. He's in jail pretty much for the rest of this, the rest of it, from this point on. That's incredible. That is incredible, man.
I never asked the young man the name.
the reason why I'm so curious about all of this is that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. And we've been doing a story on computer predators, adults who go online to try to meet young teens.
And boom, head goes down. He knows that he's been defeated. He knows that his life is over. He knows that his life is ruined. It's over. Goodbye. But no, he's actually fumbling around with some papers that he pulled out. He's like, he's fiddling around with some paper. But I like to think that's, his final head bow of defeat.
Now, if you have anything else you'd like to say for yourself, we'd love to hear it. If not, you're obviously free to leave and walk away.
I'm not doing anything. Now, if there's not, it's Scott Pedersen.
No, it's Scott Pedersen. No one realizes. Chris doesn't realize in the moment that it's now Scott Pedersen. It turned from John Pedersen to Scott Pedersen. Chris doesn't realize it in the moment. And Chris did a good job with this interview here. Chris did a good job, actually. He let the guy sit back and talk himself into a hole. He asked the right questions. He did a good job with this one. It wasn't right away. I guess they weren't pressed for time. Thankfully, they weren't. I guess they weren't pressed for time at this point in this thing. A lot of guys showed up to Riverside. So they got a nice long interview out of this, man. It's going to be 18 minutes long. Just fucking perfect in every single way. He got it. He kept up with his stupid rambling story too, and did a good job. Good job, Hansen. I'll give you kudos. I'll give you kudos when you deserve it.
There's no Scott Pedersen.
And
Do you have Scott Pedersen's name written down?
No, I have an address. I can leave an address. That's all I was planning to do. Just going to Scott Pedersen, I can leave no phone number, no address.
So you never wrote down Scott Pedersen's name?
No, I didn't write anybody else's name either. I'm going to have to change some things, but no, I have never, ever, ever.
Oh, man. Poor JPW, man. Poor JPW, man. He got framed. He got fucking framed. Oh, man. All right, 16 seconds. Oh, man. This is great right here. I love this right here. One more for the road. One more fucking pure gold moment for the road right here.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Puts on the safari hat, and now he's like, oh, man. He puts on the safari hat. Just so beautiful. Where was that thing this entire time, by the way? And then he'll say something as he walks out the door. Strange. He says strange, man. And then he fucking leaves the screen door open, too. Oh, man, that's it. We got through it. JPW. All 18 minutes of glory here. I can't believe it. We got it done. Whoo-wee! I'm a little fatigued. It did take a lot out of me a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you watched everything, every single second of this, thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I guess until next time, I'll see you guys later.